From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Israeli warplanes strike more targets today in Gaza, including in the south. This comes a day after the United States vetoed a resolution in the UN Security Council calling for a ceasefire. A police standoff continues in Pleasant Hill this morning, the suspect shooting at police overnight. Authorities say the suspect is locked inside a home. He shot his wife and is a danger to the public. And the search is on for a double stabbing suspect in Berkeley this morning. Why police say anyone who sees this man should not approach him and should call 911 immediately. Good morning and thanks for starting your day with us. Today is Saturday, December 9th. I'm Max Darrow. The war in Gaza rages on this morning, and this week fighting has escalated in the southern regions. Today, Israeli airstrikes rained down in Khan Yunis, leaving this home you see on your screen in ruins. Health officials in Gaza say the death toll has now risen to 17,000 people. The Israeli Defense Forces estimates 1,200 people were killed in the initial Hamas attack on October 7th, with around 140 people still held captive in Gaza. As Israel pushes forward with its military operation, there are growing threats to the Jewish people in the region and around the world. Bradley Blackburn joins us live now from New York. And Bradley, we are now entering the third month of this conflict in the Middle East.
We are, Max, and yesterday the Israeli military said 2 of its soldiers were seriously wounded in a failed attempt to rescue some of those hostages that remain in Hamas's custody. Meanwhile, intense airstrikes are continuing with deadly impact on civilians.
As Israel continues its battle against Hamas, the UN says Gaza is reaching the point of no return. Rescuers picked through rubble in the southern city of Khan Yunis after an Israeli airstrike. CBS cameras captured this moment when a crowd rushed a UN truck, desperate for deliveries of water.
The situation is simply becoming untenable.
At the UN in New York, the U.S. vetoed a Security Council resolution calling for an end to the fighting. The U.S. instead arguing for humanitarian pauses.
We do not support calls for an immediate ceasefire. This would only plant the seeds for the next war, because Hamas has no desire to see a durable peace.
This week, the Israeli military released this video of what it says is Hamas positioning anti-tank missiles. Rockets fired from Gaza continue to be intercepted over Israel. One landed on this car in Tel Aviv Friday, but there were no reports of injuries. Meanwhile, across the U.S., officials are increasing security as Jews celebrate Hanukkah. Anti-Semitic incidents have surged more than 300% nationwide since the start of the conflict. On Friday in Albany, New York, a suspect appeared in federal court after police say he fired a shotgun into the air outside a synagogue. Prosecutors are investigating it as a hate crime.
The situation is also growing more dangerous for American troops positioned in the Middle East. A U.S. official told CBS News yesterday that there were 10 attacks yesterday alone on troops in Syria and in Iraq, including, Max, a rocket attack on the embassy in Baghdad.
And Bradley, looking at just some of the imagery in that story you just shared, there was one of people rushing that UN truck with aid. What is Israel saying about relief efforts for civilians in Gaza?
Right, Max. Israel's pushing back against some of the UN's claims, particularly that there is no safe zone in Gaza. Yesterday, an Israeli military official told CBS News that that's false, that the military is not attacking a corridor for trucks in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military says they're encouraging more aid to enter the territory. But whatever the case, Max, it's clear that many civilians are not getting the food and the water that they so desperately need.
Bradley Blackburn for us live in New York. Thank you for your reporting. Back here at home this morning, a standoff continues at a home in Pleasant Hill. The suspect shooting at armed police vehicles in front of his house numerous times throughout the night. Nobody was injured there. A SWAT team and crisis negotiators have been on the scene since Friday night. They're trying to get a man who's accused of shooting his wife at their home on Thursday night to surrender. An arrest warrant was issued on Friday, as police now say that 40-year-old suspect is a danger to the public. The man had locked himself inside the home initially when police first responded to the incident on Thursday evening. After hours of trying to contact the man with no success, combined with seeing him post numerous times on social media, police left the scene around 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday, saying that at that point there was no immediate threat. But then police changed their tune, and a Central County SWAT team came back late last night along with crisis negotiators. A police lieutenant says efforts are ongoing to communicate with the suspect and arrest him. Police say he's been frequently posting on social media. Some of those posts have led officers to believe that he might be suicidal. But just moments ago, police said Monument Boulevard remains closed in the westbound direction between Contra Costa Boulevard and Moore Lane. A shelter-in-place order remains in effect for the Sherman Acres neighborhood. The suspect allegedly shot his wife as she tried to enter the couple's home on Thursday night. She suffered minor injuries and has since been released from the hospital. A shelter-in-place order is now lifted in Berkeley's Claremont neighborhood after 2 people were stabbed there. Police have been looking for this man, who they say may be armed. 2 people were stabbed at around 6:30 last night near El Camino Real and Oak Ridge Path. We don't have an update on their conditions yet. At one point, people in the area were ordered to shelter in place for almost 2 hours. Here's a picture of the suspect one more time. Officers are warning people not to approach him and to instead call 911 if you see him. He was last seen wearing dark pants and a red or brown hoodie with a hat and a large backpack. Also in Berkeley, an Amazon delivery driver was carjacked at gunpoint. Police say the driver stopped to take a break yesterday afternoon in the area of Arlington Ave and San Luis Road. That's when a person armed with a handgun approached the driver, swiped the delivery van. He was dumped a few blocks away, missing several packages.
It's a calm weather pattern taking hold. In fact, it took hold yesterday. It's going to continue as we head through this weekend. High pressure building in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That means a hill of air taking over, and that means sinking air, which suppresses the development of any precipitation. Just a few passing clouds overhead this weekend. Any chance of rain, mainly staying over the Pacific Northwest, maybe a few showers for far northern California, right along the Oregon border. With temperatures warming up today, we're starting off chilly in the 30s and low 40s. We are still going to climb up to what's normal for this time of year, upper 50s and low 60s by this afternoon. Everybody within a couple degrees of 60 and everybody within a couple degrees of what is average for the middle of December.
In San Francisco, dozens of legal street vendors banned from selling their goods marched from the Mission District to City Hall on Friday. They say the 90-day ban aimed at cracking down on the resale of stolen goods is threatening their livelihoods.
Queremos trabajar. Queremos trabajar.
The vendors are asking the city to let them sell goods on the street during the crucial holiday season. They say, since the ban took effect nearly 2 weeks ago, they're struggling to make ends meet and feel unfairly punished.
We are not part of the problem. We are part of the solution. We're willing to work with the city. We're willing to work with anyone on any way.
The city offered some financial help for legal vendors, a one-time payout of $1,000. Some vendors say they will be right back in the same position when that money runs out. The city also opened 2 indoor locations for legitimate vendors to sell their goods. But when we last visited on what should have been a busy Sunday, there were very few vendors and no shoppers there. Just look at that. Vendors say they were lucky to make $10 in a day. Some vendors are going rogue, setting up tents on the sidewalk of 24th Street. It remains to be seen whether the city cracks down on this new market. The chronically understaffed Oakland Police Department just got a big boost. 22 new recruits graduated on Friday to plenty of fanfare. The 192nd Recruit Academy celebrated the occasion at the packed Scottish Rite Centre. With these new officers joining the force, the department has 724 officers total. Now, the department hasn't had a permanent police chief for about 10 months now. There's no word yet from the city on how close they are to picking one. A few weeks ago, the Oakland Police Commission put together a short list of 18 candidates, including fired Oakland Chief LaRon Armstrong and retired Antioch Police Chief Stephen Ford.